Did you know there's a low-key hustle that's making regular people thousands of dollars a month just by flipping medical supplies? No, it's not illegal. Yes, it's real. And no, you don't need a medical degree, a ton of cash, or even a business license to start. All you really need is a few hours a week and some hustle. Before I start, if you're tired of scams and want a real solution for making money online, check out my #1 recommendation in the description below. All right, let's rewind and talk about the guy who's mastered this hustle. His name's Felix Garcia. He's not a doctor, not a pharmacist, just a regular guy who figured out a niche business opportunity and ran with it. Back in 2015, Felix started buying and reselling diabetic medical commodities. That's right, diabetic test strips, to be exact. That first year, he pulled in over $100,000 in revenue. Let that sink in from flipping little boxes of unused medical supplies. And this wasn't some fluke either. It changed his life. Fast forward to today. Felix is financially free, invested in real estate, started multiple businesses, and gets to work with his childhood friends. All because he spotted an overlooked opportunity. So what exactly does Felix do? Here's the simple version. He pays cash for people's extra diabetic testing supplies, then resells them for a profit. That's it. No storefront, no inventory you have to manufacture. Just finding people who have extra supplies and flipping them. How does he find these sellers? He runs ads, both online and offline. People see his ads, call in, and Felix either meets them in person, usually somewhere public like a Starbucks, or has them ship the supplies to him. Then he resells those items, typically for double or even triple what he paid. Okay, you're probably thinking, wait, aren't these diabetic supplies essential? Why would someone sell them? Totally valid question. Here's what most people don't realize. When you're diabetic, your insurance often sends you way more supplies than you'll actually use. Like boxes just stacking up in the closet, unopened. Every time a prescription renews, boom, more supplies show up. Eventually, people are like, I don't need 10 boxes. I only use 2 per month. That's where Felix, and potentially you, step in. Let's talk numbers. On average, you'll buy a box for somewhere between $10 and $30. Then resell it for $50 to $70. One box will make you rich, but here's the kicker. Most sellers become repeat suppliers. If someone gives you 5 boxes a month, and you have 10 sellers doing the same, that's a pretty solid side income. Felix says most beginners can realistically hit $3,000 to $5,000 a month within 90 days if they put in the work. He personally brings in $10,000 to $12,000 a month. And get this, he barely touches the day-to-day anymore. He's got 2 of his childhood buddies running the whole operation. So who are the people buying these test strips? This is the part Felix doesn't dive super deep into. Maybe because it's part of his pay program, but generally, you're reselling to bulk buyers, distributors, or through marketplaces like eBay. However, eBay can be tricky. There are rules and hoops to jump through. That's why when you join his course, he supposedly gives you a list of vetted buyers. When it comes to payments, it's pretty flexible. Most resellers get paid through PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, whatever works for you and your buyers. It's a straightforward exchange. They ship, you pay. Or you meet, exchange, and it's a done deal. Now here's something that might make you go, why would Felix share his secret sauce? Why not just keep the whole pie to himself? His take is actually kind of wholesome. He says this business has completely changed his life. He was making 6 figures from it at just 21 years old. Used that income to buy over a dozen rental properties. Even paid off his parents' mortgage. He feels like it's only right to help others discover it too. Also, let's be real. Selling a course? Easy money. He gets to help people and stack some extra income on autopilot. Okay, but what if everyone starts doing this? Won't the market get saturated? Felix isn't worried. He points out that over 30 million Americans are diabetic, and the rest of us? We're not far behind. The demand is massive, and the number of actual resellers? Still surprisingly low. Plus, he drops a truth bomb here. Most people who see this opportunity won't take action anyway. So, for the few who do, there's plenty of room to win. This is where it gets even better. You don't need experience. You don't need a license. You don't need an LLC. Nada. You can literally start with a Craigslist ad in your smartphone. Of course, over time you can scale into a legit business, set up a site, form an LLC, build a brand, but you definitely don't have to in the beginning. Now let's be honest, this isn't a magic money machine. There is one real challenge, getting your first seller. That's the gateway. You can't flip what you don't have, right? For some people, that first deal comes in a few days. Others, it takes weeks or months. It all depends on your marketing and follow through. But once you break through that wall, it gets way easier from there. If you want a step-by-step guide, Felix put together a course called Flipping Medical Commodities University. It costs $347 plus a $99 onboarding fee, so under $450 total. They offer financing too, if needed. Inside, he walks you through everything. How to find sellers, where to resell, how to avoid legal pitfalls, and even how to automate the whole operation over time. Look, this business isn't sexy. You're not going to become a TikTok influencer. You're not starting the next Amazon. But it is doable, it's repeatable, and it's profitable. You're providing a real service, solving a real problem, and getting paid in the process. If you got a few hours a week, a little grit, and a willingness to learn, this could be one of the most underrated side hustles you'll ever hear about. So what do you think? Would you flip diabetic test strips for cash? Before you leave, if you're tired of scams and want a real solution for making money online, check out my #1 recommendation. Click the link in the description to see the best business to start online, which made me over $26,000 last month alone. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more reviews and honest insights. Thanks for watching.